Alright, so I just picked up this Accsoon Seemo. It's this mount and some cables. You download their app, hook it up to your phone, and your phone is now a really good monitor, because we all know how good phones are now. Okay, so you got instructions, you got your mount, you got your little adapter piece. Okay, so once you get the bracket onto the Accsoon monitor mount, just slot it in place, and just tighten this round, and then nice and sturdy. Make sure that's done. Your phone, put your phone in. Make sure you don't hit any of the buttons, so you're not crushing the buttons or hitting any menus you don't want to be hitting. Cables, supplied cables. This one, so this one's for the phone, so we plug that into the phone. And this one goes onto this side of the monitor, the bracket mount. And then this one goes into this side, into the camera, using the A7S III. And then unfortunately for me, because my main camera is the Red Komodo, I don't usually use HDMI cables, so I had to dig one out for this. Luckily I still got one, because as you know, Komodo's SDI. So this is the ugly part, so don't be like me and have an ugly HDMI long cable, get a nice tidy curly one. But just so you know, in the video, don't give me hate. Here's my ugly HDMI cable, which ruins it. But yeah, just get a tidier setup. So here's the on-off, apologies again for this horrible HDMI cable. So here's the on-off switch on the back of this mount to turn it on. And what I love about it is the smaller Sony batteries, obviously you have no clue how long you got left on these batteries. The bigger ones you do with the button on the back. So what's cool about this is once you power it on, just hold it in for 2 seconds. There's some small indicators here on the back, just here, see? And I might have to change my exposure a bit. Let me just dial down my exposure so you can really see the lights. There we go. So just here, tells you how much battery power you have left. So that's cool to have once you're on shoot, because there's nothing worse than, you know, running around shooting thinking, oh, this battery should be enough. So yeah, you got your indicators here. So when you got these with you, you know how long you got. So normally I just use smaller cameras as smaller cameras. I look through the viewfinder or the monitor, and surprisingly the peaking on this thing is really good. Well, not on this thing, but on the phone, the app and the software. So this is the setup for the little guy. Works really well. I love the mount. It's really sturdy. You can put a heavy battery on there, a smaller battery, and it still acts pretty solid. The app works really nice. Hooks up through there. You got 2 cables. You got one for your phone, which comes from the mount from Accsoon straight into your phone. And you have HDMI to the HDMI of the camera, and then you also have the USB-C, which comes from the other side of this mount, and that goes into your camera as well. All the cables allow access from the app to your camera to your phone. So basically you can shoot content on the camera, and then you can save it straight to your camera roll, which is awesome. So you can shoot something for your client, frame it for like 1:1 or whatever you want to frame it for. Usually it's 1:1 or 9:16 because those type of clients want work fast. So another cool thing about this is it has screen overlay. So you can take a picture from your set with a person standing in front of it, or if you got an object in there, then you can grab that image, overlay that image to whatever opacity that you want, and then that way you can move around the scene but keeping that thing that you want in the frame exactly how it was by looking at the screen overlay that you have saved. And that's amazing. So if you ever want someone like a music video where the person's always center frame or their hands are always a certain way, the fact that you can match that up, you know, every time throughout the video is really cool. I can't do that myself right now because I'm shooting myself. Is a bit tricky to do, but I'm sure you get my point. Another good useful thing that could be used for is if you want to paint out a light. So you got a light in the scene that you want to take out in the edit because you need a bit more fill on the character or anything like that. The fact that you can see, you know, where everything is just for your sanity, and then just overlay it and just be like, okay, that's going to look good when we take the light away. Say you wanted an image here and everything was changes, but you wanted this to roughly be the same in every shot. So wherever your location was, say you wanted a similar kind of plant pot, or this is your actor, and you always want to keep them kind of in the similar frame. So if you want to take a screenshot of it, it's just this one here. You click it, bam, and then we go back to the menu, which is this one, and we want to overlay that image to make sure we kind of match it with everything that's going on. So we're going to go to a selected picture, and it's just here, saved on our phone, click done. And then now, if we move the camera, that's the kind of best way to show you, hopefully you're seeing this okay. You can see that the image that we saved is over it, so it's kind of got that blurred kind of thing going on, and then we match it up There we go. So it's matched up with the image that we shot. So it's a really good way to match up your character if you want to keep them center frame, or say you got an object like this and you always want to keep it the same. So, you know, say you show up on set and you're like, oh man, it's so close. We just put the camera, that will roughly match the image that we shot before. And it's just really cool to have, especially because this kind of setup, you want to be quick with clients. And the fact that you can show them how to do that on set and make sure, say you're shooting food and you always want that burger in the same kind of place, but you're shooting a bunch of different burgers or nachos or whatever. That's just super cool to have. And then the other thing to show you is, say you just did the shot for the client, click record on your phone, record whatever it is that you're shooting, and they're like, this has to go out now. Oh my God, it has to go out in 5 minutes. You know how they are. Click stop, go to your phone, and we want to go to our pictures. Apologies. Click on the photos, and there we go. So if you do want to install your own LUTs in here, so the LUTs in the menu are just down here, and you just go to look, and then it has a whole bunch of like already installed LUTs. So for Red, Fuji, Canon, Panasonic. Now if you want to install your own, the quickest way to do it is to jump out of here, go to your email. So yeah, if you send them to yourself, I just sent myself a bunch of LUTs, and then you just go, wait for it to load. So they're downloading, and all you do is just click on it, and then you want to send it to Accsoon, which it does that. It's a bit tedious to start with if you're doing multiple ones like I am. I'll just do 2 for now, just so you get the idea of it. And then now, as you can see, there's the look. To turn off the look, if you don't want it on, you just here. So that's your log image if you want to just check your exposure and stuff, and that's with the current LUT on there. So we go back over here to this one. So yeah, we go back to our look, and we just click in here where we want the cubes, and this one's called Dead Don't Die. It's like a flatty, gloomy kind of image, just to show you again without it. So this was the kind of look that I went for the music video that I just shot. I'll put some overlays. I'll show you some clips now about how I shot it. But yeah, I was just shooting Rec 709 on the day, or log, and it would just been nice to know what I was roughly getting on the day. Just quickly look at the monitor. So that's cool to have. So at the moment, I don't believe when you record that to your phone, I don't believe it records the LUT to your phone, just the image of S-Log. That might change in the future. Yeah, so it's saving it to my phone flat. So it'd be cool in the future if you can save the LUTs to your phone as well, a baked-in look to your phone. So yeah, all your other information is this menu down here, and you got grids. Choose which grid you want to choose, your markers, mess around with your markers, your distortion. This is cool. So if you're shooting anamorphic, it gives you these squeeze options, 2 times, 1.8 times. I mean, come on, that's awesome. Grids, display, your brightness, your contrast, anything like that. Your overlay, which we talked about taking the screenshot. RGB, histogram, waveform, focus. So like I said, the peaking is so good. As you can see, it's on that plant pot. You can see where the focus is. The fact that you can crank that baby up. I mean, come on, that is so cool to have. Go back to peaking, sorry about that. Yeah, and you can choose your colors of how you want to see the peaking. LUTs, as we said, zebras, audio, keep an eye on your audio waveform. This monitor mount, the app is free, but the monitor mount and all the cables is £180 or $179, something like that. And I think at first it kind of seems expensive, but there's lots of monitors that are similar to that are way more expensive. So the fact that you always have this with you is nice to have. And I don't know, I just think of like weird situations, like say something happens to you on set and your monitor breaks, and to you that's kind of crucial for your peaking, your look, to load in your LUTs, things like that. If your monitor breaks and you don't have a spare one, because a lot of the time those are like £500 to £1,000 per monitor, you're pretty screwed to rely just on the camera. So the fact that this is a phone, think how many people have phones on set. I know that's not like the way to think about it, but if something happens to your monitor, you need a new monitor, you kind of be screwed. If something happens to your phone, say you dropped your phone or smashed your phone on set, technically there's a few other people on set that have the phone. All you have to do, because you already have this, is just download the software for that person's phone, which is free, and then you have another monitor. And I think that's just crazy good to have. I don't know about you, but when I'm shooting for clients, to me, the number one thing always is, you know, fast shooting it, delivery time, and focus. Are you in focus? I don't use autofocus a lot on this camera, so I guess if you use autofocus, not a big deal. But if you're pulling focus and you want to nail focus, the fact that the peeking through the app on the phone is better than in camera if you're not going through the viewfinder, already that's the main thing for me to have. Like, I love good focus peeking. So yeah, essential for me. So yeah, hope you guys found the review useful. Check it out. It's the Seemo Accsoon, and maybe I might be back making some more videos about products. I don't know if I get the time. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.